from Lazala's Books, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Monday! This video is going to be my July mid-month wrap-up. I'm going to talk about all the books that I read in the beginning of July. The first 3 books I'm going to go by really quickly because I have a whole video going into detail about them. It's the Love Kills trilogy by Brianna Jean. And if you want to know my full thoughts on them, please go check out my video. But it follows Phoenix and Judah. It's an angsty romance. The first book, Why Are You Here? I gave that book 5 stars. The second book, You Said You Wouldn't, I gave 4 stars. The last book, Even If We Fight, I gave 4 stars. Next, I have finished listening to the Side Changeling series by Nalini Singh, and I'm so glad I finished because I started reading the series December of last year, and I've finally caught up with the series. If you don't know what the Side Changeling series is, you basically have 4 groups.
No, it's 3 groups. I was thinking about a group in the side.
And the humans. And in the later books, they all come together to take down this silence that has been imposed upon the side. And so the first book is book number 13. Shields of Winter, and there we follow Basic and Ivy. Silence that the Psy that has been forced upon the Psy has fallen. So a lot of the Psy in the Psy nets don't know how to deal with it, and they discover that the key to dealing with that is Isai, empath Psy who are able to feel emotions. So Basic, who's part of the Arrows, a guardianship of the Psy that protects the Psy net, he had an assignment to look after Ivy, one of the empath Psy, and it's their romance because Ivy is starting to feel things for Basic and vice versa, but Basic doesn't know what to do with all these new emotions that Ivy is bringing out in him. I give that book 4 stars. Shards of Hope, we have Aiden and Zahara. They are also arrows. They are part of the unit that protects the Psy, away the bad people. But Aiden was the leader of the arrows, and Zahara are taken captive by the enemy. So this book is them trying to escape their captors and them forming a romance. I also gave Shards of Hope 4 stars. Allegiance of Honor is the one of the Side Changeling because there was a season 1 and a season 2. Allegiance of Honor is the last book in season 1, and in this book we don't have a main couple, we just catch up with all our previous couples, like the first couple from book 1 mostly, but I gave this book 4 stars. On to the second season of the Side Changeling series, and it's called Side Changeling Trinity. Trinity is Silver Silence, and we follow Silver Merchant and Valentin. Silver is part of the Merchant family, who is very unique because the Merchant family all have bonds that they all care about each other in the family, and that is not common for Sai, because Sai don't usually feel familial bonds, but Merchant family, they do. And it's Silver's romance with Valentin. At a young age, Silver has chosen silence because she thought it was the better choice for her, but then she meets Valentin, and he challenges her to live a life out of silence, and it's their romance. They are fated mates. Ocean Light. We follow Bowen and Kaya. Bowen is the leader of the humans, and he has a romance with Kaya, a dolphin shifter. Bowen has a chip on his head that the chip is malfunctioning. Bowen meets Kaya, and they form a romance. Kaya is a dolphin shifter. Shards of Hope, I gave 4 stars. Allegiance of Honor, I gave 4 stars. Silver Silence, I gave 5 stars. Ocean Light, I gave 4 stars. Wolfe, Rain. And here we follow Alexei and Memory. Alexei's Wolfe hears somebody crying, like crying really hard, and so he goes to follow the sound of the voice. He finds a girl, a Sai, in captivity, and he breaks her out. And from what Alexei can tell, Memory is an empath Sai, and it's Memory and Alexei's romance, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Of Alpha Knight, we follow Selenka and Ethan. She is a Russian wolf shifter. She is alpha. She's a female alpha, and Ethan an arrow Sai. And when Ethan and Selenka meet each other, they immediately know they're fated mates. But Ethan, even though he knows they're fated mates and he stays close to her and they have this relationship, part of him tries to pull away because he thinks he's dangerous to Selenka. I'm sorry, I know I'm saying the names wrong, but I can't pronounce them without the audiobook. But I also love this. I give this 5 stars. Last Guard, we follow Canto and Payal. And Canto and Payal met each other when they were children because they went to this school for less adequate Sai. So, and during that time, Canto injured his spine, so he couldn't move anything at all. So Payal saved him, and they meet each other years later, because they are both anchors, and they are called to protect the Synod. And that's when they meet again and have their romance. Next we have Echo Storm, Yvonne Merchant, and Soleil. Yvonne is Canto and Silver's cousin. Yvonne and Soleil meet when Yvonne is injured during training, and Soleil is there to heal him. They were supposed to meet next day, but something happened. Soleil didn't show up at their designated meeting area, and they meet again in San Francisco. And that's all I'm gonna say. That is Echo Storm. I gave that book 5 stars. Is The Antihero by Sarah Kate. I read an arc of this book, and it's about Adam, who has spent his whole life idolizing his father, who's a pastor, knowing that he's going to become his father's successor, but then he learns that his father is not a stand-up guy that he portrays himself to be, that he is part of a club that he said he was trying to take down, but he found out that he's a VIP member of. And he meets Sage, the ex-girlfriend of the club owner, and Adam and Sage agree to a fake dating relationship to expose Adam's father's wrongdoings. And I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Only because I thought, like Adam, he just needed to tell the truth about his father's actions. He kept putting it off of telling his family members, and I didn't like it. He should have just told them anyway. But that's the only reason why I gave it 4 stars. Next, the last book I'm gonna talk about, and is the why I only read 11 books in the first half of the month, and it's probably my favorite book of the whole entire year. I finally read Manacled by Sinlin Yu. If you didn't know, last week, Jen from the Book Refuge, Justin Honest Fiction, Mel from Melvine's Fix, Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings, Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages, and Joe from Not So Average Joe all did a fan fiction readathon, and I finally finished Manacled, and boy, was it worth it. I spent the whole week reading that book because it was so long, but it was so worth it. It's Harry Potter meets Handmaid's Tale. It is dark. It's what happens when Harry Potter lost the war, and I loved it so much. And yeah, it's my favorite book of the year, and that's all I can say. Harry Potter meets The Handmaid's Tale, and Draco gets his redemption arc. those are all the books that I read in the beginning of July. Please let me know if you have read any of these books, or please let me know what books did you read for the first half of July. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.